Masya Allah para jemaah Kimeng wang kentak kepi kentak je banyak di Masjidil Haram para jemaah Saloso semua kentak kentak je banyak Masya Allah rembukan kentak Masya Allah. Tanda apa ini? Tanda apa? Di Mekah.
Shalom. I'm going to start off by giving all praises, honor and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakak Wadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of the great millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the hopeful elect. This is Brother Yerushalayim coming back at you with another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakak Wadash. The name of this first video is Cockroaches, Locusts, and flooding hit Mecca, right, in Muslim pilgrimage, during Muslim pilgrimage, all right. And as I just saw, millions and millions from what we saw there of cockroaches and locusts, we're running all over these Muslims, right, and they just crushing them with the foot, running all around, in pain, and really and truly, these are the birth pangs, of the end. Because Yahweh Yahweh Shai is putting an end to all these false religions, all these fake-ass religions, which Islam is a fake-ass religion, right? It's nothing real, all right? You have this guy, Muhammad, right, who's a phony, a counterfeit, basically coming on the scene and pronouncing himself to be a prophet, after studying with the Israelites, right, and creating a whole new religion on his own, right, okay, which is the religion of man, not of the Lord, of the Most High, right, okay. And a lot of Jake be following after Islam. And let me get a quick precept. I don't want this video to be too long. Let's get the book of Mark 7 and verse 7, and a lot of Jakes, be doing this too, how be it in vain do they worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men, for laying aside the commandment of the Most High, you hold the tradition of men. And this is what these Jakes do. A lot of Jakes up in Islam, all right, but as usual, Jake be what destroyed for lack of knowledge. All right, let's bring in another precept here, all right, because they worshiping, thinking that they worshiping the Most High himself. All right, when they're worshiping our moon god, and we're gonna go get into that and see that Islam is really paganism. Okay, let's get the book of, I believe it's the book of Hosea 4 and verse 6. Right, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing that thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, and the law was only given to Israel, right? According to Deuteronomy 4 and verse 4 on down, only Israel received that law, not Ishmael, all right? So it says, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, I will also forget thy children. And then it's all over the scriptures, all right? The Lord is pissed off, all right? He's angry, okay? Because look at this, when we go to the book of Romans chapter 9, verse 3, it says, for I wish that myself were cursed from a Mashiach, for my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh, who are Israelites, not Ishmaelites. The Arabs are Ishmaelites, right? It says, to whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law and the service of God, right? A prophet serves the Lord, right? He's a messenger, Right? That's what a prophet is, a messenger from the Lord. One who prophesies, who receives the word, which the word could really and truly, the true word, a prophecy could only be received by an Israelite. Right? And the promises, all the promises, okay? The Lord only has respect unto what? Unto who? Israel, not Ishmael. We're going to get some more. This is Exodus 2 and verse 25. It reads, "And the Most High looked upon the children of Israel, and the Most High had respect unto them." Right? Where it ever said the Lord had respect unto the nation, the Lord said the nations are nothing to him. Isaiah the 40th chapter, 2nd Ezra the 6th chapter. Alright? That's failure. And now let's go to Psalm 78, go through a few precepts. And verse 5 it says, "For he established a testimony in Jacob." The testimony of Yahweh, which is what? The spirit of prophecy. So if he established it in Jacob, the spirit of prophecy, how could Muhammad, who was an Ishmaelite, alright, be a prophet? No, never happened. All the prophets were Israelites, alright, from Moses straight back. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, alright, going down the line, alright, you have Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Hosea, all of them were what? Israelites. All the prophets were Israelites, alright. Psalm 70 and 5, "For he established a testimony in Jacob, and appointed a law in Israel, which he commanded our fathers, that they should make them known to their children." Right? To the seed. Because it's the seed of Israel, not the seed of flipping Ishmael. Alright? And some jakes, they be adamant, they want to kill you for a false religion. Alright, let's get the book of Amos, chapter 3 and verse 2. It says, it reads, "You only have I known of all the families of the earth." Israel, right? And I'll start at verse 1, Amos 3 and 1. "Hear this word that Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai had spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, You only have I known of all the families of the earth." Right? "Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities." Alright, and this is why the Lord sending all these plagues as well. So a lot of jakes in that mix there. What you saw there, over here, a lot of jakes in there. Alright? These heathens don't know what they worship. Just like the Lord told it said in John 4 to the woman at the well, you know not what you worship. Alright, they don't know what the hell they're worshiping. Talking about Mount Sinai and all this kind of, they don't know what the hell they're worshiping. Alright? And play for a piece of this thing here.
Masyaallah para jemaah. Kimeng wang kentar ke. Kentar je banyak. Di Masjidil Haram. Para jemaah saroso.
Look at the sheer quantity of those things. Right? And these are signs of the times, as we said, the Lord sending out what? The plagues of Egypt. We can get that in the scriptures. Let's go to the book of 2nd Ezra 15. 2nd Ezra 15. Then the Lord said, I'll go straight to the point. 2nd Ezra 15, around the 11th verse. Because the Lord is fed up. He's heard the elect crying out to him day and night. And he says, 2nd Ezra 15 and verse 10, it says, "Behold, my people are led as a flock to the slaughter." Right? And then with all this new world order shit, they combining these religions, so-called Christianity, starting with Roman Catholicism, which is the false prophet. Alright? Going into these other baby churches out under the Roman Catholic Church, Islam, all these religions, capture our people, captivate our people, and have our people in a destroyed state of mind. Alright? Leading them to what? Destruction. Because all of these gonna be uniting under the what? Under the Pope. It's happening already. These so-called Abrahamic religions, so-called Judaism, Islam, and Christianity. Alright, verse 10, 2nd Ezra 15 and 10. "Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them to dwell in the land of Egypt, in Mitzrayim, land of bondage." Alright, which is mainly America. Alright, "But I will bring them with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. And one of the plagues of Egypt was these damn locusts. Was these locusts, you know, and this is what the Lord is doing to them for their fakeness. First the heavy rains fall, there was floods, major floods. Alright, and then Lord brought up all these creatures to terrorize them from below the ground, from below Muhammad's tomb. Alright? You know, because he's full of shit anyway. Alright? Waste of time, you know, and let's get the book from Babylon to Timbuktu and go into this is the book from Babylon to Timbuktu by Rudolph R. Windsor. It's a PDF copy. I'm gonna go to see if we get start at page 44. The birth of Islam. Alright, and this is just to give you some context to show you the fakeness of this religion, right? It says right, let me see where I can start. I'll start at the second paragraph. It says the Roman Empire at the birth of Muhammad was divided into two parts. The Western Empire with the capital at Rome and the Byzantine Empire with the capital at Constantinople, which the Byzantine was the Holy Roman Empire, or the Empire of the Israelites. Alright? The Western Empire was the empire of the pagan Romans, which were Edomites. Alright? Jumping down, let's go to page 45. Page 45. You know, it's important with this book to eat the meat and chew out the bones, with some bones in between, right? But I'll start at the third paragraph here down here. It says, when Muhammad was born, many Arabs were still worshipping the sun, stars, spirits, and idols. And they're still worshipping idols right now. The Kaaba stone is an idol. Alright? Which is really an ancient pagan Arab custom. Alright? The word Kaaba means temple. So it was the old pagan temple stone. Alright? Which Muhammad did not destroy. Okay? When he so-called purged the land of Mecca of its idols. Okay? So if he was such a great leader and such a real prophet, how come he didn't do that? Okay? It says the Arabs possessed 360 idols, one for each day of the year. Muhammad was born AD 570 or 570 years after the death of our Lord. Alright? Right? He was descended from the tribe of Quraysh. Right? Quraysh. Right? Of the family of Hashem, of the nation of what? Of Ishmael. You know? I believe it's Yashamai Allah. He hears of the power. Alright? He's not the prince of the power. Alright? So it goes on to talk about, you know, that he was prodigious. Alright, which prodigious goes into remarkable, impressive, great in extent. Alright, in his youth, he was never taught to read or write, but his imagination was superlative. Superlative meaning of a high quality or degree. Which makes sense. To make up your own religion, you had to be superlative. Okay? Right, Muhammad was extraordinarily handsome, whatever, and eloquent, meaning charismatic. Alright, in motivating men with the power of words. Okay? Okay? Now jumping down, the bottom paragraph, it says that bottom paragraph, second in fact I'll read from the first sentence. After Muhammad became a camel driver, he traveled to remote and intriguing lands. He led his caravans to Persia, Syria, and Egypt, transacting business with merchants of every kind. On his business trips, he met what? Jews, Israelites, right? Christians, which were Israelites at that time, because the original Christians were all Israelites. Alright, contrary to popular belief. And members of other sects. He interrogated them, right? This is what he did, he interrogated them. Okay? Which means question them, you know, in depth. Concerning the tenets of their religion. Tenet means a principle, belief, or doctrine held to be true. Right? The beliefs, they move, something held in common by all the members of the so-called religion. Right? So he questioned them about the tenets of the religion. He frequented the environment of the Jews and their rabbis, mostly because they were merchants and an omnipresent ethnic group, which means what? Omnipresent meaning widely or constantly encountered, widespread, right? proving that Israel is what? A scattered people, Deuteronomy 28 and 64. Alright? Because he could not read or write, his ears were attentive and keen to everything that the Jews related to him. So he's listening to everything. To what? To plagiarize it. Which the Quran is really a plagiarization of the Bible. A lot of the so-called scriptures, the surahs, come direct from the scriptures. Right? Right? Muhammad learned and extracted much from the Israelite religion and compounded it with his new religion, Islam. Alright? And this guy was no good. Alright? This guy was no good. This guy was a guy who put Israel under, heavy oppression. Okay? Heavy oppression. Alright, when we go to page, let me see if I can get this. Let's go to page 48. Page 48. Should get some information there. Alright. It says Islam and Judaism. Okay. The Prophet Muhammad adopted many principles and laws from the Israelite religion, right? First of all, the basic idea of monotheism, which is in belief in one God. Right? The Israelite confession of the unity of God, which is Shema Yasha Allah, Yahweh Allah Hayanawa, Yahweh Ahad. Right? Or hear, O Israel, the Lord our power, the Lord is one. Right? In which he copied, which is saying La ilaha illa Allah Muhammad Rasul Allah, which Allah in Hebrew just means power. Right? That's not the name of the Lord. The name of the Lord is Yahweh. Yah meaning he, Hawa meaning exists or is. Right? So everything he copied. Look, the second paragraph. Muhammad adopted also the main details of the Jewish calendar, the Day of Atonement, the Sabbath, and much of the Bible. Right? See, you can't make this stuff up. And narratives from the Midrash and many points of the ritual law. Incidentally, the Jews pray 3 times in a day facing the city of Jerusalem, and the Muslims, true believers, pray 5 times a day facing the city of Mecca. Right? Trying his best, Muhammad sought to convert the Jews to his new religion, but to no avail. Right? So this is when the persecution started. The Jews were adamant and resistant to change. The high esteem which the Prophet held for the Jews was transformed to enmity. Why? Because he was angry that the Israelites didn't want to convert to his new religion. Right? Which the Israelite religion is a religion given to us from the Most High himself. Through his son Yahweh. Alright? The Jews were adamant and resistant to change. The high esteem which the Prophet held for the Jews was transformed to enmity, hatred. And instead of allies, he looked upon them as competitors. Muhammad needed confirmation of the influential Jews to validate his mission, as all upstarts, but that's where he was an upstart, right? Need the backing of someone influential. Let's get into the meaning of the word upstart.
Upstart.
A person who has risen suddenly in rank or importance, especially one who behaves arrogantly, and that's what he was, an arrogant man, an arrogant heathen. Alright? Muhammad needed the confirmation of the influential Jews to validate his mission, as all upstarts need the backing of someone influential. Muhammad therefore turned against the Jews and became their tormentor. And Islam did that, all throughout when we were scattered into Africa, under the penalty of death, they would want to convert us. Alright? And this is what it is. So the Jews were eventually killed if we didn't want to convert into Islam. And if a lot of our people know that, they'd run far away from this shit. Alright? They run far away. Alright, now I'll read page 49, second paragraph. It says, Muhammad tried to construct his religion as closely as he could after the Israelite religion. He favored the Jews by accepting many of their laws and traditions. When the Jews refused to be converted, he commanded his followers to stop turning to the holy city in Jerusalem in prayer, right? But rather to turn to the city of Mecca, which is not the holy city. Holy means separate. Mecca is where they worship false idols. The Ishmaelites worship false idols, from ever since, right? He changed the Israelite Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement or fast day, which he had accepted for the month of Ramadan, right? Which is what, these Ishmaelites be doing a lot of jaking them with them in Mecca right now, with all those floods and thing. Following this month of Ramadan, doing the Hajj and all this bullshit. Alright, but basically, he was following after and copycatting us. Alright? Muhammad changed the Israelite Sabbath from that's bullshit. Alright? That's what that's going into. Alright, but the point is, he's a fake. He's a fake. Right? He was a fake. That's what he was. Now we'll get a few precepts and close this out. Let's get the book of Galatians. Galatians chapter 4. I'll start at the 21st verse. It reads, Tell me, ye that desire to be under the law, do you not hear the law? And then these devils, these Ishmaelites, they desire to be under the law. Because when they first heard about the Old Testament, they were excited. Even in the book Babylon the Timbuktu says that. They were excited to hear about the ancestor Ishmael, how he would become a great nation. Right? But they're not under the law. Right? The law is only for Israel. For it is written that Abraham had two sons, the one by a bondmaid, right, which is Hagar. He had Ishmael by Hagar, right, the other by a free woman. But he who was of the bondwoman was born after the flesh. But he of the free woman, which is Sarah, was by promise, which things are an allegory, right? But I mean, basically going into a dark scene, a story. For these are the two covenants, the one from the Mount Sinai, which going into Ishmael, which that gendereth bondage, which is Hagar, the Egyptian concubine of Abraham, right? For this Hagar is Mount Sinai in Arabia, and answer to Jerusalem, which now is and is in bondage with her children, yet answer to us because we over them, right? Israel is the chosen nation, okay? But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all. For it is written, Rejoice, thou barren that bearest not, break forth and cry, thou that travailest not, for the desolate hath many more children than she which had a husband. And that's even now, because Jacob, Israel is way more in population and size than Ishmael. Alright, verse 28. Now we, brethren, as Isaac was, are children of the promise. But as then he that was born after the flesh, which is Ishmael, born after the flesh, persecuted him that was born after the spirit, even so it is now. This is what they're doing. By mass converting our people under the penalty of death, which is what they did. Right? I believe, let me see if I can get that quickly before I close this out. I believe there was some information on that. Let me see if I can get that. Spare with me a moment here. Alright, now let's go to page 50. Right. At the bottom it says Muhammad became, this is the bottom of the first paragraph, it says Muhammad became a martial prophet, and the pagans and stubborn Jews became his victims. Right? Because the Israelites preferred death, martyrdom. There's somewhere it basically said, where he killed over 700. I think it's right here. Right. Second paragraph. It says in the year 627, the battle of the Foss occurred. The Israelite tribes were defeated by the armies of Muhammad. 700 Israelites were gathered in the marketplace and offered the alternative, the Quran or the sword. But the devout Israelites were accustomed to martyrdom. They did not hesitate in their choice. Muhammad carried out his bestial threat, executed over 700 men. And the woman was sold probably into slavery, alright, to be concubines. Okay? This is how wicked this devil is. Alright? And our people want to be a part of that. That's failure. And there's one other thing. Page 49, it goes through, the Kabbal stone. Right? This is what this devil did. He tell you, he's a counterfeit. Page 49, last paragraph before he had in the second stage of the Islamic Revolution. It says, in order to win the pagans into the church, blah blah blah, Christianity, okay. It says, likewise, Muhammad, to gain the loyalty of the pagan Arabs, adopted many of their beloved customs. The Kaaba stone, an idol, was to receive high regard in his new religion. Also, the pagan temple at Mecca was to remain as a holy site. So that temple is a pagan temple. Nothing good about that. The temple in Jerusalem was designed specifically by Yahweh Shem Yahushai, right, and built to specs. This temple was that temple, that they still worship, and the Kaaba stone, idolism, the idolatry, Salakia. All right, so it's failure. But that's why the Lord is sending judgment upon them, because it's fake, all of it. All right, so with that, I pray this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash. Lord is destroying all these wicked paganism, all the idolatry and the lies. All right. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of the great millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the hopeful elect. Till next time, Abad Babal and Shalom.